Antonsen, man. Welcome back to the AA show. Here with my first guest on the show, Srikanth Kidambi. I'm really honored and thank you very much for joining. First of all, I think that we have to let people know, why are you here? We're here in Denmark, Copenhagen, but why?
Yeah, so I was in Spain last week and then I'm playing German next week, so I thought it would be nice for me to play with Anders, Victor and then all the top guys here for that 1 week and then go play German and all England.
Yeah. Do you like it here?
Yeah, definitely. I like it here. I think, I luckily
you performed well here before. You won the Denmark Open and the French Open.
Yeah, I know. That's one of the reasons I love Denmark, I think. And also, I think for this 1 week, I'm really happy that I got to stay here in the National Center. So, I really don't like this kind of a weather so much. So I'm really happy to stay here inside the stadium.
Yeah, that was one of the questions because, I mean, I know that I'm struggling a little bit out in Asia with the weather sometimes because it's super warm and the humidity is also really high somewhere. How do you feel about this weather? I know that now it's like 2 degrees outside or something like that.
Oh yeah, I think it's really cold for us. I think it's damn cold for sure. I think I tried going out yesterday. Yeah. To the nearby mall, and then it was so windy, so cold. It was like I think it was some 4 or 5 degrees, but still I felt like freezing cold.
Yeah, because it's really windy at the time. Did you bring gloves and hats and like a big puffy jacket?
I do it always when I'm in Europe for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you live in India? Hyderabad.
Hyderabad.
Okay. How's the weather there?
So it's definitely not this cold for sure. And then our temperatures are between 25 and 45. Like summer it goes to 45, 46. Yeah.
46 degrees?
Yeah.
Wow, it's in the summer?
In summer, yeah.
Is it like, I mean, I couldn't practice in
burning hot.
I couldn't practice in that type of weather, but...
Yeah, but our indoor is much better. I think, that humidity or that heat doesn't really come into the indoor, so it's much better inside.
I guess you have air conditioning in the arena as
well? No air conditioning.
No air conditioning?
No air conditioning, but then our indoor is well built.
Okay, so. Great. I remember the first time, my first trip to Asia was the World Junior Championships in Malaysia.
Okay.
And we also practiced in one of those halls without air conditioning, and it was so hot.
And I think in Jakarta the practice courts that we go, I think it's like that, without air condition. Yeah, I think few years back
warm-up courts.
Warm-up courts. Not the warm-up courts, the practice courts that we used to play a few years back. Yeah, it was like that.
It was like, I just remember when I played my first match. I think I won the first set against a guy from the Philippines or something like that. Okay. And then in the second set, I just remember this feeling of my legs just totally done, and I couldn't think properly, and like it was just like I had this big duvet over me and I was not able to move and I was not able to think, and it was like that for the first maybe 5 times I was in Asia, but then of course as I've tried it a few times I've got more used to it and stuff like that. Do you remember like some of the biggest struggles you had here in Europe?
Like, I think the first time I was here in England for All England Championships, the first round I don't exactly remember whom I played against, but then I did warm up for about 15-20 minutes, but still I was so stiff, I couldn't really move, and then and I was trying to move, but then I felt that court is some 2-3 times bigger than what I normally train with. Yeah. And then I just couldn't move at all. I couldn't really move my hand. I couldn't really hit. I couldn't really run.
You should warm up with like gloves and stuff.
I don't know, man.
What about the things that I still struggle with here when it's cold? Like my throat, it's get really dry and it's like hurts to breathe. Yeah. You ever tried that? Or is it only me?
That do happen sometimes, but it happens for me in Asia as well. I think it's also because of the sudden climate changes. The moment we travel to different countries, I think we've once been to Jakarta and then from there to Australia, so it was a different weather altogether, and then I had this thing. But I think now I'm used to it.
Okay. You just mentioned the All England. You have won a lot of tournaments, but you have not won the All England. What is your best result at the All England?
So I played quarterfinals last year.
Okay. Is that like because I made a video a few days ago where I talked about my biggest goals for 2020, and I mentioned All England as being one of the biggest events, if not the biggest event if you remove the Olympics and the World Championships. Is that the same for you guys?
Well, yes, it's definitely one of the biggest. I think for us, I think few people consider All England the biggest. I think it's for them it's bigger than World Championships as well. World Championships, Asian Games, it's bigger than any of those. So I think definitely winning All England is definitely going to be one of my biggest goals for sure.
Yeah. And your coach, Gobichan, he won the All England,
He
right?
won the All England.
Is he the only men's single player ever from India?
No, Prakash sir won it in 83 or 87.
Okay, yeah.
And then
I wasn't born. Srikanth wasn't either.
Not even me, yeah.
Okay.
So and then it's him after Prakash sir, I think after some 17 years or 27 years or something.
Okay.
So and then nobody after him.
Okay. You have won like a bunch of titles. You've also been #1 in the world. Which one is your biggest achievement?
I think China is one of my very first Super Series
You were
title.
quite young at that time, right?
So I think I was 21.
21?
Yeah.
I remember that. I think I was watching it on the television back then.
Okay.
Super fast, amazing attack.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of my biggest wins. And then the following year, I won a tournament in India. Super
India
Series,
Open?
India Open.
Yeah.
So I think these two are one of my biggest wins. I think winning in India, I think is definitely gives you a very good feeling.
I was wondering, I mean, if you just have to sum up, you have won the China Open, India Open, Denmark Open, French Open, Indonesia Open, and Australia. More than that, on the highest level.
Yeah, that's.
Are you like would you consider yourself I mean, when you retire one day, of course you can still achieve much more. Are you one of the like best men's singles ever in India?
I don't know. I can't really.
You can say it.
I can't really comment on that. I think people has to decide on it. I think I don't really want to
just for
give
me,
myself some tags.
I don't know much about the the previous men's single players from India, so I just want to. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I know. It's like I don't really want to give myself those tags, but I would be really happy to be considered as one of the best.
So in India, the biggest sports are like cricket.
Cricket, yeah.
And then badminton. Or?
Badminton, yeah. Cricket, and then I think now it's badminton.
Okay. Do you feel that whenever you're just in your everyday life, when you're like, if I walk here on the streets, nobody will recognize me. But how is it for you back in India?
It's a little better. So it's not like people will recognize me when I'm walking on streets, but when I go to malls or something, when I'm in airports or something, people do recognize.
Okay. So it's like, is it the same for like Sindhu and Saina? I guess.
Yeah, I think
it's
definitely a little more for them.
Yeah.
I think for Sindhu and Saina, I think Saina has been the very first popular badminton player in India.
Does she have an Olympic medal?
Yeah.
Okay.
A bronze.
That means a lot as well, right? For the pure popularity, I think it seems like it just blows up whenever you get a good result at the Olympics, right?
Yes, it's definitely. I think that 2016 medal for Sindhu has, I think, boosted her popularity by some 200, 300 times, I feel.
Yeah. You should go and win the Olympics then. Yeah. then I will guarantee that you will be the biggest Indian men's single player of all time. I was thinking you're 26 now.
I just became 27.
27. Okay. I assume that you still have a lot of years left in the game, but
I think so.
Or maybe not.
I think I have. I think I have probably a good 4-5 years at least.
Okay. Damn. Then I will struggle with Srikanth for the next 4 or 5 years. Have you ever considered like what's going to be after badminton?
No, not really.
Not really?
Not really. I've never thought anything beyond badminton. So, and I'm still working on getting better. So probably for next 4-5 years, I don't think I'll be able to think anything beyond badminton.
Okay. How much do you practice? Like,
so
it's like all day.
So it's similar to this. I think it's about 2.5 hours in the morning and then another 2.5 hours in the evening.
Okay.
So that's all.
Is it like?
It's an on-court sessions in the morning for 2.5 hours. And then it might be on court or it might be gym or some cardio sessions in the evenings.
Okay. Another thing that I was thinking about, we from Denmark, whenever we have to face like a guy from India or from Japan, Indonesia, China, we kind of like put them a little bit in the same box. Like we know what is China good at, what is India good at, what's Japan good at. Like, of course, no player is the same, but they kind of like have the same upbringing, the same practice. And I was thinking, what makes the Indian player special? And I feel that all of you have a really good net play. Do you agree?
Yeah. So I think all of us are, I know, like when you compare India to Europe or China, I think we are not really that big built. I think we are more into playing some strokes or getting that attack from the net, something, or we rely more on our strokes rather than our strength.
Yeah. And your movement as well. I think you're like really fast, really good net, really good attack.
Yeah. So that's all, because we can't really fight with strength. So that's the reason we really rely.
Why is that? Why don't you think that you can?
I know. We've when you compare it, I think we haven't seen really too many Indian players hitting that 420, 430 km/h smashes. So we've always tried to hit those lines hit those half smashes and do that stuff.
Do you have the same for like Danish players? If you have to like mention one thing that you combine with like the Danish players, the Danish men's singles?
So I think for Danish players, I think it's about I think the current set of players. I think it's their height is really their advantage, and I think the attack that they, the kind of angle that they produce from that height, I think it's their strength. I feel.
Yeah. Especially Victor. Like huge guy.
Huge. He's huge. Yeah. I think he's taller than Chen Long as well. Yeah.
How tall is Chen Long? I think he is. I'm quite sure. Yeah. I'm not sure how tall Chen Long is, but
I think he should be 6'2", 6'3" or something. Chen Long.
You might be right. I'm not really sure. Well, actually, Srikanth, because you were a little bit late to the interview.
No, I'm on time.
Then we might. That's the thing that I think we have to mention. I was like, we had a deal like 10:30, and I was waiting 10:30 for Srikanth. And I was waiting for like 10 minutes. He didn't show up, and then I received a text. See you in 15. Like.
And I'm here on time. Yeah, I'm here before that. I think.
You were?
Yeah.
That's just the way they do in India. I mean, yeah. Okay. I have one last question.
Yeah.
I think we have played each other twice in tournaments.
Yeah, I think once in World Championships and once last year.
So it's 1-1 now.
Yeah, it's 1-1. Yeah.
So I guess the question is, who will win our next encounter? No! Damn it. Well, thank you very much to Srikanth for joining the show. It was a little bit short, but we have to get back to practice in a few hours. So, yeah, I definitely enjoyed talking with Srikanth, my first guest here on the show. And I will try to get many more of the top players to the show as well. So, thank you, Srikanth.
Thanks.
Great, thank you.